Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Today I have got EVGA's Geforce GTX 1070 Superclocked graphics card to talk to you about. I am very excited about this. Why should you be excited? Why should you care about this? Do you want to play all current games that are out on the market today at 1440p resolution, at ultra or max detail, at a smooth 60 frames per second? Then you came to the right video. This is the card you want to be looking at. Now, let me be very clear about this. I do mean all current games. Ashes of the Singularity, Hitman, Fallout 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. All the current games that are out for 2016 will play at 1440p, at 60 frames per second, at ultra detail. Most of them, that is the minimum performance you'll get. Many of them will go higher. As an example, on this card you can expect between 80 to 90 frames per second average in Fallout 4 at 1440p at ultra detail. Minimum will be at least 60. It'll be a smooth 60. This thing is a beast of a graphics card. How much? About $450. Now, that's if you can find it in stock. I'm filming this video in the first week of July 2016. These are still in short supply. Now, if you're watching this video in August or September or October, they're probably all over the place. They might even be discounted. Links to both Amazon and Newegg will be in the video description below. That is new, by the way, for this video. I just got Newegg added as an affiliate site, so I've now got Newegg links in my video description. So if you prefer shopping there, go check those out. Go to both links, check them out. Buy it wherever it costs the least. Both Newegg and Amazon are excellent tier 1 sellers. They're both authorized sellers. If you've never shopped at Newegg before, I always mention Amazon. They are one of the largest electronic sellers in the United States. So they're a big, big company. So there's no worries. Buy it from either, whichever one costs the least. Now, as far as the other resolutions you can run this at, let me talk about those briefly. I mentioned 1440p, awesome. I recommend it without any reservations whatsoever. At 1080p, it's almost overkill. If you game at just 1080p or full HD resolution on one monitor, yeah, of course, this will play everything at 100 plus frames per second perfectly. But it's a lot of money to spend to do that. I would almost suggest maybe going down a card and either looking at AMD's RX 480, which is about a $200 to $240 card, or if they've been discounted, look at the previous generation of this, which is the GTX 970, which will basically play everything at ultra detail at 1080p or close to it. There's no need to spend $450 if you're gaming at 1080p. You can, it's not necessary. Now that's the lower resolution. Let's talk about the higher one, 4K. 4K gaming is becoming more reasonable these days. The price of monitors is coming down. The quality of those monitors is becoming quite good. The challenge is, how do you drive over 8 million pixels, which is what's on a 4K monitor, at a decent speed with decent quality? This will not play at 4K resolution with the details at maxed at a smooth 60 frames per second. But in fairness to this card, neither will anything else. Its bigger brother, the GTX 1080, won't do it either. The GTX 1080 is about 20% faster on average than this card, for 50% more money. I actually think the 1070 is the deal. I think the 1080 needs to come down in price by about $100 before it becomes a better deal. I will be doing a review of a 1080, but I'd like to see its price come down just a bit before I get excited about recommending that one. Right now, I think most people should buy this one. If you want to game at 4K, and I will do gaming performance tests on this card in 4K, I believe that if you're comfortable setting graphics detail to medium, high in some games, Fallout 4 probably will work fine at high. Other games like Ashes of the Singularity will probably require medium. This will game at 4K. It just won't do it at ultra detail. AMD does not have competition for this right now. They will later this year, but we're not expecting it for 6 months. I mentioned the RX 480, great 1080p graphics card, $200 to $240. I will have a review of the 480 coming up soon. Speaking of which, if you've not already subscribed to my channel, click the big red button right down there. If you already have, thank you, but if not, that will give you notifications for when the performance reviews of this come up, as well as my review of the RX 480. Speaking of which, I mentioned I will do testing of this at 4K. I will also SLI them and do testing of that. I've never done an SLI test on camera before. I've used it in personal life at home, but I will do these in SLI. I don't have two of this card, but I have an MSI Gaming X card on the way from Newegg right now. And while they're different brands, I can set them to the same clock rate. They'll SLI fine together. It won't matter. So I will put those together in SLI and do testing with that. Enough talking from me. Let's take a look at what's inside here. Plastic, yay. It's always fun opening these. It's like Christmas. I'll put that in my resident plastic pile. And it is a very shiny box, isn't it? As I move it, you can see the reflections. There is a, oh, I need my box cutter. If you don't have a box cutter, use scissors or whatever. Do save your packaging. If you ever need to ship this in for warranty service, or you decide to sell it in a few years, it is so nice to save the packaging. There is a note. Please note, if you have a problem, don't return it to the store. Contact EVGA's customer service. Note. EVGA does have excellent service. I tend to favor EVGA cards because I know their customer service is great. They have US-based customer service. Their RMA, their return process, if you have a problem, is very easy to work with. They're a good company that backs their cards. MSI is also fine as well. I mentioned I have an MSI card coming. They're fine as well. If you buy this and you have a problem in the first 30 days, don't go through warranty. That's what Amazon and Newegg are for. Both companies will be happy to replace the cards if you have a problem in the first 30 days. And frankly, they'll have one on your doorstep very, very quickly. What is in the box? Ooh, I think we have another poster. And stickers. Briefly, I'll open this up just in case you care. What does this say? Arm yourself with EVGA. It's a poster. It's a nice poster. It's quality material. This is just a big sticker if you care about such things. And what's under here? We have got, there's one more sticker. This is a powered by EVGA sticker. This is a small thing to put on your computer case if you care about such things. This is an adapter cable. Now, this card has a single 8-pin PCI Express power connector. If your current power supply provides two 6-pin PCI Express power connectors, no worries. This cable will take two 6-pins and turn them into one 8-pin. That's totally supported because each 6-pin connector provides up to 75 watts of power, and the 8-pin is 150. No worries. Now, if your current power supply does not have either an 8-pin power connector or two 6-pins, you will need to replace your power supply. This isn't the sort of card you want to use any other adapters besides the one included in the package. If you don't have the right connectors, a 500-watt EVGA power supply with all the proper connectors is $40. And if you're buying a $450 card and you need a power supply, spend the $40, buy the proper power supply, make sure it works correctly. You have a nice big manual. That's actually pretty thick for a video card. What else is in here? This is just information about the new SLI bridges required. The new 1000 series cards uses new high bandwidth SLI bridges. So you will need one of those if you SLI them. I'll cover all that when I benchmark them. There is a, this just explains how to SLI them, how to put two cards together. And what's in here? Lots of words. When I install this card in a computer to do benchmarks, I will do a video of the installation and I will post that separately. So if you want to see how that works. I like this clamshell packaging, by the way, because it's so easy to reuse. Unlike the old, when these used to come in anti-static bags, you know, you'd tear them, you'd open them, you have to rip them. They were a pain. This Save the packaging, save the box. That looks nice. That looks very nice. It just pops right out of the plastic. You just pull it back a bit, it comes right out. How sweet does this look? Take a look at that. Okay, it's covered with plastic. Let me get the plastic off. There is a lot of plastic on here you will need to remove. You do want to make sure you get it all because plastic will trap heat, and you definitely don't want to run this with all this plastic on here. Let's see here. There are tabs on each corner to help remove. That is a lot of, there we go. And of course, I'm trying to hold it up while I do this. You should probably do it when it's sitting on the table. Don't hold it in midair and do this. This is actually sticky plastic up here. Usually it's not sticky. So just be aware that it's actually stuck on. Take all this off. I'll put this in my plastic pile over there. Yes, I do clean that up. And on the back, there is film protector. This is the back plate. Make sure that you take this off as well. And let's see what else we've got here. Is there any other plastic to remove? Nope, but I'm going to put fingerprints all over that. That's okay. All right, let me talk to you about what we have here. First of all, this is the ACX 3.0 cooler. This is a custom cooler provided only by EVGA. One of the reasons why I personally like custom coolers is that these fans will stop spinning when you're not gaming. If you're just in Windows, this card pulls very little power and these fans will not turn at all. So it's completely normal for the fans not to be spinning until you put a heavy load on the card. Now, these are very quiet. I currently have an EVGA 980 Ti in my personal machine at home, and the video card is one of the quietest things in there. My power supply is noisier than the fan is. That card is so quiet. I love how quiet these things are. Now, on the top here, we've got our 8-pin PCI Express power connector. Do not just plug a 6-pin in here and hope it's going to work. It's going to pull too much power. You need to put the 8-pin in here. It's a 150-watt card. And since this is the Superclocked card, this might pull over 150 watts using power. You may be in the 170, 180 watt range. PCI Express, by the way, lets you pull 75 watts max through the PCI Express connector on the motherboard, and then the 8-pin provides 150. So there's up to 225 total between the two. If you try to plug in a 6-pin connector, not enough power. I mentioned the back plate already. This protects the circuit board on the back, and it looks nice. That's pretty much all it's there for. There is a rubber connector on the golden fingers. This is the part that actually plugs into the motherboard, and I mentioned I'll be doing an install video showing how that works. I like to leave those on until I install the card. On this end, we have all the video ports. There is a DVI-D, a digital video interface, digital, that's what the D stands for. If you have a VGA monitor, you shouldn't if you're buying a card like this, but if you have a VGA monitor and you've ever used one of those VGA to DVI adapters that so many video cards come with, they won't work anymore. All the circuitry to support analog connections is gone in the 1000 series. The old ports were called DVI-I because they would work for either digital or analog. No more. So that's digital only. Here, we have a single HDMI 2.0 B port. What does that mean? In short, that will support a 4K monitor at 60 Hertz and support high dynamic range color. It's basically the latest and greatest HDMI port. Now, I mentioned that this card is not ideal for 4K gaming, but it will do it. The other option is if you have a 4K monitor and you buy one of these, keep in mind, 4K is such a high resolution, you can have a 4K monitor for Windows use, but set your games to 1440p and then let the card scale it and you'll still get awesome super performance. So you can absolutely get 4K monitors with this. These other three ports are what's called DisplayPort, and these are the new DisplayPort 1.4. Again, 4K, 60 Hz, high dynamic range, 10-bit, 1 billion colors, excellent quality. This is the future, and so it's built in. So you'll be set for many, many years with those ports. And that's basically all there is to the card itself. I'll set it right there. There we go. Close up the plastic clamshell case. As I mentioned, save these because it lets you ship the card if you ever need to in the future. 1440p, ultra detail, 60 frames per second, $450. I give it 2 thumbs up without any reservations whatsoever. This is the new king of 1440p gaming. There isn't anything else I think you should buy for that resolution. Maybe in 6 months. I mean, AMD is supposed to be having cards come out, but they don't currently have anything out or announced. When they do, I promise you I'll review it and we'll take a look at the situation as it exists then. But in the summer of 2016, if you're looking to buy a brand new graphics card and you want to game at 1440p, this is the one to buy. Nothing more, nothing less. This is it. Did you like this video? Click like. Did you not? That's okay too. Remember to subscribe to my channel. It's the big huge red button right down there. That's how you'll get updates to performance reviews of this, the installation of it, the installation of 2 of them, as well as the upcoming review of that MSI Gaming X card. Furthermore, if this video was helpful to you, if my whole channel is helpful to you and you want to support me from my installation videos, my game performance videos, or anything else I do, I have links to both Amazon and Newegg in the description below. They will take you to this card on both sites. Go comparison and see which one costs the least, and click away and buy. Both of those are affiliate links to both Amazon and Newegg. I did not get this for free. I bought this with my own money. In fact, this just came from Newegg not 2 days ago. I buy everything that I review. None of the stuff is free samples. My primary income source are those affiliate links. That's what enables me to buy this stuff and do all these videos, and hopefully I find you this stuff interesting. And if you want to support me, then please do so. Questions, comments, thoughts, feedback, suggestions, those go below the video description below. Do you like this card? Did you like this review? Did you like this unboxing? What games do you want to see tested? Let me know what you want to see in future reviews of this and that MSI card. I certainly will be reading your comments. I read them all, I reply to some, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I will see you next time.